Welcome to another episode of I So Bloom, a place where growth gets real, healing isn't linear, and emotional intelligence takes center stage. I am your host, Mario Reyes. Say if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. So I got my co-host with me, the squad, Mr. Chris Classic.
What up, what up?
Mr. Jamel Shelton.
What's up, y'all?
Dr. Curtis Jasper.
Glad to be here.
And we got an illustrious guest, Mr. Trev Saint. How you doing, my brother?
I'm great, brother. Thanks for having me in your cipher.
Don't leave me out here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
There you go. Today's episode is about self-care. This is gonna be a fun one. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see how everybody decides to invest in themselves as opposed to all of the services we provide for everybody else.
So important.
Now, for those who don't know, Mr. Trev Saint is I don't want to say influencer. He is reshaping and rewriting the narrative of black fathers in America. He is a father to 3 beautiful daughters, 5, 3, and 1.
Yes.
Oh, look at me. I memorized that shit.
Yeah.
God bless you, good brother.
Thank you. I'm going through it. I'm going to need all y'all prayers, blessings, and advice. If you're a girl dad, if you got girls, because they are no joke. But
sure.
No, this is
this
is the easiest part right here. Like, boys start off really hard and then get easier. Girls start off really easy and get complex.
Right.
So
I don't know.
That's good.
So when you get to about
Right.
14 and all of their scenarios sync up with your wives, good luck.
Man, yeah.
Good luck.
Like,
they come back though, and then when they come back, they're gonna make sure that you are taking care of the rest of your life.
Right.
It's an investment.
That's what we hear.
hearing.
The verdict's still out. That's the word on the street.
That's what the old people say.
Right. That's what I
People
said.
say,
That's
you
the
know?
verdict.
Dr. Kurt?
It's coming.
Okay.
Oh,
He's the old people.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Oh, yo,
I put him in the ending. And I kick knowledge. Note to self.
it hurts when you get stabbed in your back. It hurts more when the knife is from your own kitchen.
And when
Like,
you turn
what are
54, you used to it. Yeah, I like that.
You throwing right
Take him
back.
out,
Need to start. All right, so gentlemen, we talking about self-care here. So I'm curious, like, what's something y'all do for yourselves? Like me, I am a big, being as tall as I am, I always need a massage. This lower back be killing me. You know what I mean? So that's like my thing. I'll go charge the car, go get a massage. You know what I mean? What about you?
me working out, man, like that's just that my ethos is like I'm a gym head, like I love it.
Are you an athlete? Are you a former athlete too?
Well, I'm an athlete. I'm a strength coach by trade.
What sport?
I played a little bit of everything. My mom was like, yo, bro, you're not going to be in this house. So you going to play a sport all year. So I played basketball, ran track, football, baseball, everything.
wow.
So as I got older, I just played basketball and football primarily.
Hold on, as you got older, not taller though, you kept playing basketball?
Yeah, I kept playing basketball until high school. And then
Okay.
then
It's
I got
always a tall
right? Like,
What happened?
it's
What
not
I do?
necessary.
What I do?
Not even necessary.
He called hell coming
I'm about
up.
to
That's all he
say-
said. He
I'm
called
about to
hell.
say, is there a hoop somewhere? Like, we got a board?
Oh, right. You ain't built like that.
Oh, all right.
Let's go.
No, but then I
That's self-care. Going back and forth
Hey.
with your brother is self-care.
That's facts.
It is.
That's
is.
facts.
It is. You need that.
Yeah, you need that.
You need
Playing in dozens, that's the best game.
Oh, different.
Yeah.
My
Can't
bad.
try that shit at home. That shit don't fly.
Oh, no.
Like you crack one joke.
No chance.
Shut
That's
down.
it.
Feed yourself.
That's it, right. Just go to your corner.
Go to the corner.
Go to your corner.
Time out.
Right. No, but then, when I got to college, I played a year of football.
Nice.
Got hurt and was like, this not for me. But
I'm smart too.
right.
Word.
Yeah. So I got into that, like those that can't do teach.
Yeah.
So that's when I became a strength coach. So for me, like being in the gym is therapeutic. It's cathartic. I love it. And it's a nice reprieve from just like my day to day.
Now, since you're also a strength coach for other people, does it kind of like remove some of the joy, or you take joy in providing the service? I presume.
Absolutely. Like, I think that's also like why I am the way I am as a father, just because like my love language is acts of service.
Got it.
Like everything I do is to serve my family. When I'm at work, it's to serve my athletes, and I get joy from it. So even when I get a minute to myself, it doesn't really take away from the experience.
I'm gonna have to
It's good.
I'm gonna have to just say, when I ask these questions on this one,
Yeah.
for this topic, it cannot be on how you service other people. It got to be selfish. This is a selfish episode.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I say that with all of them, being the guy that does take joy in doing for others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But honestly, like, I think we do ourselves a real disservice sometimes because our identity ends up being about impact instead of internal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Mel, and you can't say Undugu.
Nah, no problem. One thing I love to do is since last August of 2024, I've been very intentional with Monday through Friday, waking up about 4:44 to 5 a.m. and I walk between 2.5 and 3 miles throughout my subdivision. And initially, it was a way for me to just clear my thoughts. I got a lot going on between business and family and running nonprofits, and it was a way for me to kind of control my day. I would find that when I would wake up with the rest of my family, sometimes it feels like chaos, but if I can wake up an hour and a half beforehand and I can kind of set my own mood and set kind of how I want the day to go, my days just seem a lot more calmer. And I think the byproduct of that is I lost like a good amount of weight doing so. So yeah, I would wake up, doesn't matter if it was hot, cold outside, do my miles.
No, I used to see you during the wintertime. I was like, he's wilding.
Yeah, I loved it, but it was really it's self therapy. I call it moving meditation, where sometimes I would throw on music, other times I might throw on just a humming sound, right? And it was really just me to kind of build myself up for that day. And
Not for nothing. I think you could make probably one of the meanest soundtracks because as I tracked you doing it, I would like check his story and I'd be like, oh, I haven't heard that in like years.
yeah, I would take it. Oh, that was something I was doing. So, I think to hold myself accountable, I started posting it every morning, right? And like this kind of weird thing in my head was like, well, if I stop posting, people are gonna, call me out and tell me I stopped walking. So it's something I do, and now I just add, even though I don't walk to the music that I'm playing,
Okay.
I always like to add like an old school kind of like 80s, 90s song to kind of go with it for brothers like you.
But not just that, you also add like meditation music. I've locked in a couple of just instrumental albums. I'll be like, stealing that shit, right? That goes downloaded.
Yeah, so for me, it's been a way for me to kind of dial into my day, exercise as part of it, and it's just a good way to start my morning, to be perfectly honest with you.
Hey man, what about you, Dr. Kurt?
Self-care, I do self-care a lot different, right? The external, taking great care of myself, is just taking great care of myself. It's not like self-care. The external, the working out, the watching what I eat, the walks, I stay outdoors pretty significant. Where I am now, self-care is all internal. It's stopping the negative dialogue, the internal, right? It's not the lifestyle. I have that. I've been doing that for decades now. For me, self-care is the internal work. It's to reminding myself to breathe. It's to sit in solitude, right? I got a notification from my phone when I was coming here last week. In the last few days, I've been on my phone like 6 hours. That's crazy. That's nothing. 6 hours for the whole week.
Oh, that's good.
Right? That's self-care.
You know something you do that I love? You say you don't start your day in terms of allowing people from the outside world to call you before 12 p.m.
Correct.
So you literally have created your lifestyle where you have your entire morning.
Correct.
Whatever you
Every morning.
That's beautiful.
That's crazy because I always send him at like 11:30 and he won't pick up the phone.
Right, because I'm not even near the phone to even be tempted, right? And so, God forbid, if your house burned down, just call the fire department. Don't call them first. Call me after 12.
10 a.m. Give me 2 hours. I'll pick up.
But then,
I'm right up
there,
the block.
right?
I need to get picked up. Don't call him.
I ain't available, right? But you can call me at 4 in the morning. Like, I'm there when it counts.
right.
Okay.
Just not early.
Right.
Yeah, I ride all night. I'm right. Y'all know that. I got the history. I'm pulling up.
Right.
Just not before 12.
That's why you're the doctor.
That's why you the doctor. What about you, Chris?
Because we all said something about external. And
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
That's maturity and wisdom. I would say self-care for me varies. Being a very busy entrepreneur, not being able to take the vacation and travel the way that I ideally would like to, sometimes self-care will look like, just taking a long way somewhere.
Scenic routes.
Yeah, driving with the music off, in silence. Self-care could be, sitting at the lab, listening to some jazz or something and just being still in the moment. You know, maybe buying a pair of kicks or, you know, something that is kind of like a little reward for myself. Think about like sometimes if you go to a barber that may do like a steam facial, right? Like that's great self-care, but you're getting a service provided for you by someone else. I've gone on Amazon and got the little steam joint that you could just sit in your own
It's
bathroom.
not the same.
Right? No, it's not the same.
It's pulling up to someone and having someone service you.
Yes,
Yeah.
but self-care can also be doing that for yourself or including that in your routine. No, I didn't go that far.
You got the steam one, huh?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a steamer,
Yeah.
just to, you know, kind of, because I have problematic skin, so being able to do that on a regular basis kind of helps. Because if you have certain, you know, things about your body that you are insecure about, being able to combat those things as part of your routine is better for your self-confidence as you go out into the world.
Good point.
You made reference to, like you said, like going and getting yourself a new pair of kicks or something. I gotta say, I've been saying I'm gonna get like a new bunch of watches. I need some watches, right, to match some fits. And I will not buy myself the watches, but I will grab the whole family together and be like, let's go out, and I'll end up blowing $1,000 outside.
Why you think you do that?
Why do I think I do that? I don't know.
Okay.
I think I feel guilty whenever, and then I would feel guilty if I do spend the money on myself, because then I'm like, well, I could have put that towards here.
Same exact problem I have.
And I don't understand. I don't understand why I do it.
So just I feel that same way. Now, maybe look at it like this: it's about your particular taste, right? So there may be, you know, some dress shoes that are, you know, $2,000 joints that are the Italian leather, right? And so the acceptable form of self-care where you're not spending the $2,000, but maybe you're going to DSW and getting a pair of joints that are kind of fulfilling that desire to get some new shoes, but you're not spending what would make you feel
bro,
guilty.
I feel like even for like the $250, like I spend bread in Publix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll spend $400. I got six. There's six of them. It's
Yeah.
four and
Yeah,
change
every-
easily.
God forbid you go to
No,
Five Guys.
It's you know what I mean? Like it's four and change at the beginning of the week,
Yeah.
and then there's like pit stops in the
yeah,
middle.
for sure.
Like,
Pick this up
but
on
I
the way
won't
home.
spend $250 on some joints online. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But you know what was my joint? And this I used to do this a lot when I was single. I used to chase waterfalls. That was my shit. Like every
the what?
Sunday, chase waterfalls.
Oh.
Every Sunday, I would just. That's dope about Atlanta. You go 2 to 3 hours in any direction, you're in a dramatically new ecosystem. So I would just drive wherever it is, find something online, and hike, bring dog with me, and just indulge and do an ice plunge or if it's that cold. You know what I'm saying? And that would just revitalize me every time.
Are you still able to do so now that you said that you were doing that when you
Absolutely not. We have an itinerary. There is a calendar I live by. You know what I mean? When I could schedule a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you find it with like giving your lifestyle now, do you find it to be harder to find those moments for self-care because it seems like everything's like an itinerary? I'm
like, bro, I'm be honest with you. You have 3 daughters, and as they get older, they're gonna be in track and gymnastics and all of these things,
Dance.
especially as an athletic dad. So you're gonna encourage it because you like
Right.
seeing it. You're gonna see how that eats away at your itinerary. So
It already does.
You're gonna have to schedule your life around them in a way that just didn't happen before. And I don't regret any of it. I love the time spent. Most of the time, 90% of the time you spend with your kids are from 0 to 18. So let me indulge while I can, and I encourage you to do the same. But I will say that something that Dr. Kurt says, you have to be intentional about loving on yourself. You know what I mean? Pause. But you have to be really intentional about just making sure this is my time. Like, for instance, Tuesdays, me and my wife got the agreement where she knows that Tuesdays are my own do-goo days. So by the time I log off, don't create something, a task, because I'm not going to be there.
Yeah. Don't
But
add
that's
to the
the
honey-do list.
That's the same with the children, right? One of the things that I work with parents is I say they as if I'm not a parent. We over-identify with our roles, right? We flatter ourselves thinking that we got to spend this amount of time. Your children gets to see you as a human being outside of your parenthood, which means they need, and don't flatter yourself, they need time away from you, right? Because they can't get everything from you. So if you're trying to be like, I'm trying to give all my time, no, if you schedule it, right? Just like you schedule their event, schedule your whatever time it is. As they get older, they will appreciate how well you've shown them that life is meant to be enjoyed.
You're leading
Not sitting in the stands like miserable and rushing from your last event, out of shape and overweight, talking about you father of the year. No, that has its place.
I noticed like this teenage era that we're in now with my kids, like they appreciate me more when I'm not hounding them. Like, all right, this is what y'all like. MJ, you could go out, do your thing with your friends, or mine, I'll give you your space, you could paint, do whatever. And then when they come downstairs later on, it's like, what up?
Right, because parents represent always saying stuff to children. Your presence represent that they got to do or not do. Yeah, that's exhausting.
You know what's funny when I hear you say that? So I remember last year, it's about a year ago. I went to North Carolina to the mountains. I just took like 4 days and just went out there by myself. And I remember before I hit the cabin, I always just grabbed something to eat, and I went through the I think they got like a Winn-Dixie out when you go out to the country or out in the mountains. And I was going through Winn-Dixie trying to find something to eat for myself for those days that were gone. And I remember internally almost rushing myself, like, hurry up, Jamel, like, hurry up and like put this thing in the basket. And I had to pause, like, oh, hold on. My kids and my family are 3 hours away. This is my time for myself. I can slow down and really explore what I want.
Right.
But for me in that moment, it was a reminder of, so often with my schedule is not really mine. It's what my kids got to do, making sure Brandy and everybody's good. That when I do have those time for myself, I have to remember that it is my time and not to rush that time and really slow down. And I end up spending like 45 minutes to an hour in Winn-Dixie just literally exploring the aisles, which is something that I
read labels and stuff.
Right, because normally with my schedule, it's always I'm doing something, but it's always what do I have to do next? What's the next thing? So I have X amount of minutes to do this before I go to the next thing. And in that moment, it was like, oh, I can just be present with myself and walk through the fucking grocery store for however long it takes me to do something.
Yeah, Trev, I got some questions for you. Like, I feel like we may all be a little older than you or further along in our fatherhood journey, et cetera. Like, when you think about like self-care, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
At this point, like therapeutic.
Therapy, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that is certainly and probably one of the most 100%. Important forms of it.
Yeah.
Have you practiced therapy in the past?
I have.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been for a multitude of reasons, but I found it to be something that is extremely beneficial to me, for me, just as a father, as a husband, as just a black man just trying to figure it out, who didn't really grow up with my father. I was raised by a household of women, so this is a full circle moment for me in my life.
But that equals a little bit more complexity, because now I think like women, I think they know very well how to indulge in self-care.
Right.
No, he's saying in the concept of growing up in a house full of women as a child and now being a man, he's still in a house full of women.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but no, like it's seeing my mother take care of herself was like, that was huge for me, you know, because I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know any other way to do it. Like, so I'll tell you a funny story. I got to college, freshman year, I'm in the boys' side of the dorm, and I go wash my face at the end of the day, and I got my St. Ives or whatever, and the other dudes in there brushing their teeth, and they're just like, yo, what you doing?
Right.
Moisturizer.
And I'm just like, what, bro?
Right.
Like, I'm trying not to have, like, I'm about to go talk to so-and-so down the hall. Like, I'm not trying to have a pizza face. Like, I got to look good. And dudes was like, yo, Trev, like, you crazy, bro. Like, you over in here, like, you getting your Bath and Body Works on. Like, and I'm like, nah, this for me, this is just normal. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I saw, this is what I was exposed to.
Do you feel like that kind of like, I don't want to even like using this term, but like that full sense of masculinity kind of like prevents brothers from doing those self-care routines that are presumed to be more feminine?
100%. 100%. Like I've got a brother-in-law who's, you know, early 20s. That's just not who he is at all, you know? So he's just like, he coming in the bathroom, he's like, yo, Trevor, like, what's all this? Like, what you need all this stuff for? And I'm like, bro, you need to get some of this stuff. Like, this is why I use it. And he's, you know, it's something that I feel like, you know, a lot of younger men aren't as privy to for that reason. You know, it's like that toxic masculinity, whatever you want to call it.
You get pedicures?
Yeah.
I got my first pedicure like 4 or 5 years ago. But for
flying,
years,
right?
I was like, nah, B, ain't nobody touching my feet. I got those there. I'm like, oh, Chanel, when's the next time we're going to get our feet done?
Do you put the polish, like the clear polish on those?
You know, I'm not going to lie. I glow naturally, so I don't have to. Nigga, here. Come at me,
That's
B.
why I draw the line.
He tried to come at
I
me.
draw the line. She's like, what color? I be like, no, I don't need nothing.
Clear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will say this, though. Just in the, like, receiving, getting to, I forgot who said it earlier, but just getting service by somebody that is, you know, their job is to make sure you feel good.
Yeah.
Was never something that I thought I'm not allowed to do this. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like when you go through that process, like, do you have to like declare it, or you try to sneak it in your day?
Oh no, like I'm very much like, yeah, I'm about to go do this.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll put it on my Instagram story. I don't care. Like for me, it's this is my day.
Yeah.
You know, I try to put my whole self out there, my authentic self. And whoever gonna like it. Whoever doesn't. But I do feel like there's a whole host of men out there that need to see it. There's a host of women out there that need to see that it's okay for your man to, and like, shoot, take him with you, right? Like, or maybe he should invite you, because I know I've asked my wife, I'll be like, yo, babe, like, how them dogs looking? Do we need to go?
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, like, just taking care of myself is something I haven't fully mastered, but I understand the importance of it, and it's something that is helps me be the best version of myself for my wife, my kids, the people that depend on me. You know what I'm saying?
And you got 3 daughters, so I presume like the girls were like, hey, let me paint your nails or something like that.
Oh God, all the time. But like, it's funny too, my oldest is really in that mode right now where everything she sees, she's starting to emulate and try to like ask a lot of questions. And what does this do? What's that? What's this? So like, for example, I was in the bathroom before we started to put them to bed, and I was washing my face, brushing my teeth, kind of doing my routine. And she hops up on the counter and she just like watching me. You know, I've got the facial steamer on, and I kind of use that time to like ask her about her day. And you know, she goes into a store a couple of days later with her grandmother, and she comes out the store, shows me what she got, and she's got like these little like toddler size like facial rollers, like a cold roller, a little scrubber, all these different things that she sees her mom and I use.
Absolutely.
You know, but I'm like, that's good. Like, she needs to see us have these moments, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be a skincare routine. It can be working out, it can be meditating, it can be whatever it is that you do for self-care is good for your kids to see. Because if these are healthy habits or ways that you deal with stress or whatever, like, they need to see it, because hopefully they pick up something too.
They will.
And find what works for them.
They will.
Them seeing their dad do it kind of models a behavior that they may identify in, you know, their future partners, and also if they choose to become mothers, what they will definitively include in their children's routine. So
it's good.
I encourage you to keep doing that.
It's interesting too. I think one, like getting serviced by somebody that loves you is also, I feel like, the most divine level of care you can receive.
Yeah, it hits different.
Yeah, so Chanel loves giving me facials, and she'll like massage my face afterwards. I didn't even know you could massage your face.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
You know, a
bro.
form of self-care I love that Brandy does.
What's that?
Is pick sometimes the
ingrown
hairs, man. And she'd be like, go get the tweezers. And like, she has a little attitude with it, but like she does it with love.
Yeah.
Go get the tweezers in a towel. And I just lay on her lap and just for like a few minutes. And now it's to the point where there's moments where I may not even have it, but I just like that. For me, it's intimate. It's an intimate.
That's exactly what it is.
15, 20 minutes I have with my wife. It's like, just do a check, just to make sure I'm good.
Right.
All right, come here.
Yeah.
Amaya, my daughter, she'll like, her thing is, she'll braid my hair, she can braid my hair for me to go out into the world, but she'll just braid it just to play in my hair.
The connection.
Yeah, man, I love that. And I think also it was modeled because my sister, now that I think about it, growing up, her thing was, go grab a Q-tip. I gotta clean, your ears are dirty. So while we were watching like Saturday morning cartoons, she would clean out my ears.
That's love.
And you know what I mean? Like you said, it just hits different when somebody that loves you is actually caring for you.
Let me ask you all a question. How do you all feel that society plays a role when it comes to black men specifically and us going into self-care and really taking care of ourselves?
I'm like, yo, you can see it in the pause game. Which I play, you know what I mean? But remember when I think it was Diddy that did, like, he got like a pedicure or something online, and then they was like, yo, metrosexual. That was the buzzword of the time. So it was almost like that was the gateway to being gay or some shit. Like, no, he just taking care of himself.
Had nothing to do with sex,
Yeah,
sexuality
whatsoever. You know what I mean? So I think society, especially black and urban culture, we have a tendency to hijack things, and you know how we like to play the dozens? Yeah, it's fun, but I also know this shit is pretty damn toxic. So I think we have a tendency to do that, especially as it pertains to projecting what we believe a black man should be any all times.
Yeah.
But what was the original question though, again?
How do you feel that society plays the role in defining how black men practice or perform self-care?
Yeah, that's a great question. It depends on what you mean by society. If we speak in the global or the larger society, yeah, I mean, there's various.
Or within the U.S.
Yeah, so I think what I know about men is, right, we diminish the very things that we enjoy, right? So we could have received the scalp massage and or facial oil, but then we enjoy it, right? Like we'll sing a Beyonce song when we by ourselves, but then downplay it if she come on now, right? Like we have this way of diminishing the very things we know we enjoy, which kind of takes us away from authenticity. Now, here's the deeper problem, right? This is going to drive home because he's going to need to hear this one, right? Because we fail to take great care of ourselves, to the degree that we fail to take great care of ourselves is to the degree that we file a complaint to our partners who don't take good care of us.
Wow.
Repeat that one more
Wow.
time.
Right? We have to lead by example.
Wow.
Right? To the degree that we fail to take great care of ourselves.
Wow.
It's to the same degree that we file a complaint with our significant others on how they not taking great care of ourselves.
Almost like we expect them to pick up where we aren't, like what we aren't doing.
It's important for you to accuse her not doing over something you ain't even showed up in the relationship doing for yourself.
Wow.
So real.
So, if I may, I would suggest to the brothers who are watching this, especially if you've never gotten like a manicure or a pedicure, you may question why it's so important for her to have those things done, and that's because you haven't experienced it. So I would implore you, if you are already financing those self-care things for her, to go with her. Go with her and get that experience, as long as you're not impeding on her self-care time, right? But perhaps go with her or let her accompany you to explore those things, and then you will understand why it's so important for her to get them done so regularly, and it might be something that you want to incorporate into your personal self-care.
And I think like self-care is sensory. Like
it can be.
You're a perfumer. When I go and with my children and I bring the family to go to the Black Nose Lab, that's a sense of self-care for me because I am able to kind of like disconnect for a little bit. And even though they are present, I'm allowing my senses to get taken to another level. Like, have you I know y'all have you been to the Black Nose Lab yet?
Nah, I have not.
Bro, like, it's an experience. You go in there, that shit is a vibe, yo.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Just listening to you.
Fragrance is a powerful tool. Our noses are our noses for a specific reason, and they are very prominent on our faces, and usually if you think
mine
about
more than anybody.
if you think about how animals or mammals are created. And so being able to create fragrances that people use for different forms of self-care. It could be you want to smell good for you, right? There's that. And then it might be I want to smell good to attract some interest, or I want my home to smell a certain way, which is why, if you travel, you'll see like certain hotels, especially the higher end ones, will have their own signature fragrance that when you smell that lobby, it brings you back to when you stayed at that particular place. And so now they have it where you take it home.
And you realize the difference when you go to some place that doesn't have it and you're like, moldy, air conditioning on.
That's a good point. Let me ask you this, because we use the term. I got the term perfumer from you, but I grew up with the term cologne for men.
Yes,
perfume.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So there are different degrees of how much oil concentration is in a particular. Whether it's eau de toilette, which is a lot more alcohol or water, and then there's the eau de parfum, which is a French phrase, and that's a higher oil concentration, and the highest is kind of an extrait. So it's the difference between a single and a double if you're thinking about a cocktail,
a whiskey,
right? So American capitalism has played the divide and conquer game. If we market these fragrances just to men, we can now market certain fragrances just to women. God doesn't make that distinction in nature when it comes to colors and when it comes to scents, right? So you can walk into your tea shop and you can smell rosebuds. I believe you guys have
mango rose. That's
right.
Immediately what I thought about too.
And it doesn't smell like a man or a woman. It just smells good. And naturally, that's how things are made. So a lot of it is based on marketing concepts. But for the most part, I just make fragrances for people to smell good. It isn't assigned a certain gender.
What's so funny is inside of our house, we steal each other's perfume.
Right? Yes.
Your specifically.
Yeah.
Because it's unisex, right? So some days I feel like that's what I want to smell like, and other days I'm looking and Brandy has it now. It's inside of her truck. And I'm like, damn,
she roll with her.
Yeah, she roll.
Like mine.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Trev, when you think of how self-care has shown up not just in your life but in your family, is there any routine that you have that you could anchor in what you saw implemented as a child?
Yes. So the biggest thing that I do that I found was great for my mom was I start my day at 5 o'clock.
Got it.
And my kids get up. My kids can get up at 5:45. They can get up at 6. They can get up at 7:30. But I know if I get up at 5, I've at least bought myself 45 minutes of me time. Right? Because once they're up, I'm in performance mode. And that performance mode I notice carries me through my day. Now, if I don't have that time and I start my day when they're up, that's it. Now I'm anxious, I'm stressed out, right? Because they're gonna be who they are. So that time that I start my day where it's just me, my thoughts, my tea, my journaling, my Bible, whatever it is, that's crucial for me to being able to just do everything else I gotta do and do it at a high level. I'm a performance guy, right? As a strength coach, everything for me is operating optimally. So that 45 minutes to maybe an hour and a half that I get is huge, and it does so much for not just me, but for my wife getting a little bit of extra rest, or my wife not having to deal with a fourth kid in me.
The grumpy.
You know what I'm saying? Where she
the
be
grumpy
yo,
husband.
Go get a nap, bro.
Right.
No, we're not about to do this. But that is huge. And I noticed that was something that my mom did. My mom is not a morning person, but she was like, look, boy, don't get up or don't come out this room. Give me my minute.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come in here and get you when I'm ready.
Yeah.
But she needed that time. And then once she would come get me or whatever, like, it was great, you know, like, because it was hard. I know, like, you know, being a single mom, and there's millions of single moms that can attest to it. You know, raising a boy is one thing, raising a man is another. And it was that stretch of times where I was extremely difficult. And, you know, I noticed that, like, her really holding on to those moments where she was able to, like, have her time, it made a big difference for her being able to, like, parent me.
It's good.
Okay. I got some stats.
Yeah.
I got stats.
Right.
You want to hear
Like
some stats?
stats?
You like stats? Yeah, of course. You're an athlete. You love stats.
Yeah, athlete.
So, approximately 70% of Black Americans reported having a mental illness in 2020, with rates of major depression being increasing amongst Black adults. Suicide rates, Black men have risen to notable attempts, especially among 13-year-olds. And only 26.4% of Black and Hispanic men between the ages of 18 to 44 experience feelings of anxiety and or depression have utilized mental health services. That speaks directly to what you were saying about ensuring you lean into mental health as a tool for self-care. I think a lot of times we think of self-care and we only think about the commercialized versions of it. But you made reference of something that really stuck out to me. You said your Bible. Where does God show up in your self-care routine?
God's in everything. You know, my family's primarily, you know, from the South. If you met my grandmother is like the, you know, God rest her soul, the most religious woman I've ever met. You know, so that for us was just like, this is just how we live our lives. You know, so my faith is extremely important to me. You know, I try to instill that into my children. You know, it's a big part of my marriage. You know, but you know, I don't want to get too far off the question. It's just listening to those statistics. It just took me back to a moment not that long ago where I really had some struggles, and you know, my wife really came to my rescue, and it had to do with like just me wondering what my purpose was. Like specifically for me, like I can work-wise, I feel like I was on autopilot. I felt like I wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. As a parent, I was giving so much to my children, not taking enough time for myself. And there was a moment when my wife came home and I was just being really short with her, really short with the kids, and I broke down. Like, I cry for everything, but like this was like a big cry, like sobbing like on her belly, all of that. And I just didn't know what to do. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And I realized that like I didn't have, like I'd given so much to everyone else. I didn't have like a sense of community for myself. I didn't really have anything outside of like my job and my athletes and my family. And that was really hard for me. Right. Yeah. And that was really hard for me because, you know, being from New York, there was always that support system and friends in New York. Moving here, I didn't really have that. Like I knew people, but not a ton of people, and my schedule was so busy that like the opportunity to go out and meet people wasn't really there. So, you know, like that sense of community, that brotherhood, that like, yo, let's go get drinks. Yo, let's go like watch a game. I didn't have that.
Got it.
And I really struggled. And like at that point, my wife was like, bro, like, the next day, she put me on a flight. She sent me like to go see my boys in Chicago and was like, bro, just take a minute. And then when you come back, we'll talk about what you need.
That's big.
You know,
Give it up for the missus one time. That's a good way.
But sorry to cut you off, but you know, like that was something like I didn't know what was going on until like I actually sat down and spoke to her about it. I just knew I was frustrated. I was exhausted. I was like mentally burnt out, and I was struggling to be a good husband and good father because I wasn't taking care of my needs. Like, get up and like, you know, wash your face and do all that. Like, you know, go work out. Yeah, but like that's autopilot. That's what I've been doing. But like doing something like this, right? Getting here and talking to you guys. For me, like that's a form of self-care, right? So. Because that's like you need that sense of community. You need that brotherhood. And for me, like as being like a younger father in this group, like there's that mentorship, like that stuff for me is really important.
I was going to ask you,
oh, go ahead.
Where are you at now with that process? Because you framed it like that was a moment, right? Talking to us now, presently, where you at with pouring into yourself and practicing that self-care?
Definitely better. Like I've made it a point just to, one, make myself more available for those moments, and like even being like, you know what, I don't have to deal with this right now. Like I can go out and hang out with some friends that I have, or you know, just take them. If I want to go sit at a coffee shop by myself and my wife is at home struggling with the kids, at the end of the day, it's okay, because I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna take over and everything's cool. Like I got this. Like you go.
I don't
take
gotta
a
feel
minute.
guilt.
No,
Coming back with your cup full.
Exactly, right. And like that was what I was doing. I was trying to pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, you made reference to something that I swear, like, we often talk about, you know, distractions. Like, provided, I love having Undugu and the space where we go and we sit and we build on specific topics. There's transparency. But I also enjoy when we go out just to shoot pool and shoot the shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I was making the joke earlier, like, yeah, sometimes women will be like, yo, oh my God, why'd you drink so much yesterday, da-da-da. But like, I just came back from Puerto Rico and that shit was cathartic. Like I was with my 5 cousins and we were at the pinnacle of our ignorance, and just being able to get that man time. Yeah, get that man time and get it out without worrying about your comfort. Are you safe? Did you eat? No, we can neglect ourselves collectively. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's how they see it. But in reality, they don't realize it's the camaraderie, it's the building, it's the pouring into each other.
It's the suicide prevention.
Man,
That part.
Suicide.
I'll close with that. Ain't my time yet, right?
Oh, that was. You just gonna drop that and keep walking? Who the fuck does that? Nah, but like real talk, I want to thank you for that perspective, because to me that's something that we should start holding on to and champion and stop. It's not always the toxic energy and masculinity that we say.
without guilt. I want to put that out there.
Without
doing
guilt.
it without feeling guilty for doing it, right? Giving ourselves permission to take care of ourselves so we can be better providers,
Right.
and better humans, and live this full life that we all deserve.
And not abusing it. I just want
That
to
part,
say
yes,
that.
yes.
Not abusing the space. You know what I'm saying? When things get a little difficult, not running out immediately as soon as it starts to get a little difficult, right? Because then it devalues the time going
I
forward.
agree.
So.
Absolutely.
I agree. All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to our next segment. What's it called? BWF. Not BMF, BWF. Grab your cards. You're
All
a
right.
brother with feelings.
Okay.
The game is played. The brother that got in who is bagged the most is the brother with feelings. So we all get to like play a card.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with you, my G. I'm going with you.
All right.
And I was actually
Okay.
I thought about it.
At this point, it don't.
I thought it was gonna be either Jamel but he was just one last episode. And then when you started talking about how your wife came, and that was the story that I was like, he's in his bag right now.
Yeah.
So the way the game is played is, now that you are the brother with feelings, you get a gift. You
Oh, I
are
love
now
gifts.
a part of a fraternity. It's a secret society. All we ask is honesty.
Okay.
You got to put that sticker on your chest, wear it with
right.
pride. Like I said, it's BWF, so you're not mafiaed out real quick. You know what I mean? It's a family.
Okay.
Now you got 2 minutes to say, up to 2 minutes to say whatever it is you want on the topic at hand.
Okay.
This being self-care. So speak to the people.
Okay. With respect to self-care can be, I think self-care is fluid. I think self-care can be whatever it needs to be. Like for some people, self-care is literally just doing things that only serve them. But I think it's okay if for you, self-care is sometimes taking care of others. If it's just literally like, you know, I don't know, just giving your wife a facial, right? Like giving your wife a little massage. Like I think something like that is okay, because that release that you probably get from it, I think that's beneficial too. I think that can be used as a form of self-care. I think it's essential that everybody has something that they do in their day, every single day, that is for them though. Whether it's working out, whether it's your skincare routine, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's just like picking up the phone and calling 5 people in your contacts just to talk. You know, I think we don't do enough of that. So I think self-care is just something that needs to be prioritized for everyone, for all men, black men, young, old, and I think it's on us, the people that are very open in talking about it and showing that it is something that is important to us. I think it's on us to let the world know that it is okay, as opposed to, you know, just letting it just go idly by, and we keep losing brothers that we don't need to.
That's good.
That's
That's
fact.
good.
Give it up
That's
for that. Give it up for the brother with feelings. Trev,
good.
Trev, you got the jewels on them.
I got lots
Yeah.
of feelings. I'm
got-
a big feelings guy.
What part of New York you from?
Brooklyn.
Yep. Good. Welcome home, sir.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? We are. This is our version of New York now. Like, we don't sit on stoops no more. We sit at a podcast and spill our feelings and shit instead of 40s.
Hey,
Right.
hey, I ain't gonna lie. I get back and you can find me on a stoop though.
Right. For sure.
So we're gonna end off our episode with our last segment. You know, you got the young brother, then you got the middle brothers, and then you got the OG. Okay. So we look to the OG, and what we ask them:
What you
what you trying
to
to
do?
kick knowledge?
Just a little bit, gentlemen. Just a little bit. First of all, I want to thank you, brother. You dropped a lot on us, man, and I'm happy to get to know you. So thank you for sharing it. A couple things I'd like to close with. One of the things that floats around is the whole idea about therapy versus what's therapeutic, right? And we use them interchangeably. And so I want us, as men, as leaders, as community pillars, to consider that therapy can be therapeutic, but everything therapeutic ain't considered therapy. Mm-hmm. Therapy is a specialized treatment plan. Because a lot goes into that. But therapeutic, lots of things, right? And so I want us to be aware of that. Now, both are necessary, both are critical, but there are some varied distinctions between the two. The other part is when it comes to self-care, and you brought it up, my hope and prayer is that as men, we do more internal self-care than external commercialized. To the degree that we are self-aware and doing enough healing work that we kind of know our thing, right? We kind of know what our thing works, whether that's sitting in or something that you do between you and you. Is my point. That doesn't necessarily require an external thing, but it may. But tap into what it is, right? Do you need to sit in solitude? Do you need to listen more? Do you need to walk outside and do some grounding, breath work, drink of water, whatever the thing is, turn the phone off. Something that you have mastered for yourself that has a bigger internal payoff than you feeling good from some external stimuli. Mm-hmm. And the last thing I like to share with it is that men friends are necessary, particularly in this particular time. Professor talk about men unaliving themselves at alarming rates. Well, a lot of that could be preventable with men groups. Men friends are critical. Indeed. Not optional, not necessarily, like critical. They help prevent isolation, which leads to unaliving attempts and successes, right? Men friends prevent loneliness. Men friends prevent stagnation. Men friends prevent isolation, right? So there's extremes. So when we talk about doing too much or not enough, there's this acting improv concept that's called, y'all heard it, yes and, right? Yes and. You can do both, right? Yes, you can take time out and you can finish your time out and go home at 6. They can coexist, maybe not in the moment, but in terms of your life. And so I want to encourage men to employ this yes and. Yes, I'm a provider and a lover, and I'm taking great care of myself. Not but, and I'll close with that.
May I ask a question for Dr. Kerr specifically? Because I'm
Yes.
mindful that we've been doing the work for a long period of time, but there might be somebody that's viewing this podcast and they've never done it. So my question to you is, for the man who's never gone inner, who's never worked on their inner selves, what's the best place to start?
That's good. Just to sit in silence. If you could remind yourself to take a few minutes to sit in silence and just breathe, right? Just breathe. Now, you can count to yourself, you can listen to your heartbeat, you can do a number of things, but practice sitting in silence and be comfortable with those thoughts that come in your mind, right? Be comfortable. Most of us are afraid to sit still because we're afraid of the thoughts. We actually, we confuse thinking with thoughts, right? Thoughts gonna come, right? I have a lot, right? And so having the practice of refamiliarizing oneself with the thoughts that come and go, let them come and go. You'd be surprised on how often we distract ourselves with motion, with family, with duties, with labels of that. Sit still and get remarried to yourself and let them ridiculous thoughts come just like the beautiful ones come, right? And that's a very start, right? I'll give you a quick story though. On the way here comes some negative thoughts coming. And I have practiced this for decades. I just audibly give myself a command. Like I'll be driving and I'm like, bruh, stop. And I keep it moving. And then the thoughts slow down. They don't need to stop. They just need to slow down so that my body could feel safe and secure. My heart rate could go, right? And so I give audible commands as a loving friend. If you were on a negative downward spiral with the relationship, I'd be like, Mel, stop, bro. We're not doing that today.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, okay. Right? And so I treat myself as my own best friend, but it started with sitting in silence and not being afraid of my thoughts, particularly these scary, brutal, bullying, dangerous ones.
I think it's important, too, to mention that we are not our thoughts. I mean, you have, of course, mastered that, but so often people think that what we're thinking is us, and we have not made a distinct difference between what we're thinking and who we are. Those
Absolutely.
are completely different.
Correct. Your thoughts are an extension of you.
Indeed.
Right? Your feelings and emotions are messages back to you. Right? And they all have their place, right? But thoughts come and go. Now, thinking, sitting there, carrying out that's a different process. That's a different process. Oftentimes, people bring old thoughts into their thinking. You have a thought of failing somewhere. You cooking on something again. Here come the thought and that disrupt your thinking.
Wow.
Amen. All right. Well, give it up for Dr. Kurt one time. He dropped a cut.
Appreciate y'all, man.
That was a session. I just saved y'all a whole bunch of money right there because that was a session.
Look, where do I send the invoice? ISO Bloom, what? Inc. LLC?
Yeah.
Where? Who get this
go ahead.
invoice?
Do that. There's a Chinese company that does that shit. Yo, Trev Saint, not to be confused with Franklin Saint. You know what I mean? Trev Saint.
Very different.
Thank you so much for coming on, my brother.
Yo,
Appreciate you, man.
Absolute
Fellas,
pleasure.
We love you, bro.
Great.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to see the young brothers coming up with such good energy, such high moral compasses to the point where I even wore this. This is a shirt I wore for you.
I appreciate
you.
that.
You are a trophy husband. I
Thank
see
you.
what you're doing with your family.
He look young, but he don't sound young.
Yeah, baby.
Exactly. Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, you better put him on the pedestal.
Hey, he gonna be married for a long time off that. Where that camera at? Right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for chiming in to another episode of ISO Bloom. Self-care, brothers, just take care of yourself. Self-care is the highest love. Self-love.
Yeah, that's
Peace.
good. Yes, sir. Good job, gentlemen. Love it.